Hey guys, it's Saru, and so much has happened in the land of Arborea, or Ellenworld, as others know it as. The good old game, TERA. Now TERA just recently released its newest, and I must say most awaited and asked for update, Apex, or Awakening. I'm going to dive right in and tell you guys all about it, my thoughts on it, and a sneak peek behind the curtains of optimization when it comes to the game on console. So let's get right into it. So with the new update that released just last month, I've gotten back into the game. Sort of, I guess. With the update itself came a brand new set of skills that in its essence change the way that classes work altogether, such as the Priest. Many of you know that I use Priest as my main class, because I like watching stuff while I play the game, I guess. This update has turned my class into a more DPS reliant base class, of course whilst still being a healer and buffer. Don't get that confused. I have seen players right now that are priests that are just DPSing or just healing. That's not the case, you should be doing both. Now this is a huge change, especially for players that are just used to playing the way that they've been playing. Now after going through the questline for Apex, in order for you to become awakened and hone your new skills, you'll find that there are new dungeons available for you to do. Or really, dungeon. I suppose Arcane 9 is new in the sense that there's no red indicators in it, so I don't know if you've never done it before, I have a guide on YouTube for normal mode and hard mode. It might not be useful. But anyways, apart from that comes a nifty little dungeon which is built around the Apex balance. Because yes, with Apex means more DPS and you're doing a hell of a lot more damage. Sort of, I think. I don't really know. It's kind of hard to tell these days. But you get a new dungeon called Dark Reach Citadel. Some players may have seen me stream both the normal mode and the hard mode of this dungeon during the month of July, to kind of give you some pointers on how to clear it without giving you a proper guide. I guess just... yeah, but that's mostly due to me being gone in July mostly, which if you want more information on why I was gone, that's in the previous video, which you can click somewhere around here. I don't know. Anyways, it seems that with every update comes a bug, or bugs. I mean, that's just development 101. When you fix something, another bug appears. First was the sleeping bug, which priest could essentially sleep or stun any monster in the world. This was a mistake, because I quickly figured that one out and spread like wildfire. You could use it to completely skip mechanics and, well, it was a nice change of pace. Now, I should mention you cannot skip all the mechanics. For example, in Antonio's Apple Garden, you could not sleep the last boss. So Antonio, because he just wasn't having that. Nope. But that was fixed about a week later or so. In addition to this new dungeon came new world event missions to do in order to craft a brand new circlet. Well, 2. You would farm this boss during the Velica Defense event, which is every hour. As for the time itself, I know players will ask, well, what time does it start? It changes every maintenance, so I can't really tell you. What I can tell you is that it's every 30 minutes after the Avenging Talons mission. But if you're on my Discord at discord.gg/Sarumonin, you can opt in to get notified when Velica Defense is up for ease of farming, for either NA or EU. But anyways, you have 2 choices when upgrading. Either upgrading your Ethereal Circlet into Improved Transcendent, or upgrading your Mistal 5 Circlet along with your Ethereal Circlet into an Improved Mistal Circlet. Now the only difference here between them is your normal skills and your Apex skills. So for example, 1 is for your normal skills, which increases the damage output for your normal skills and not your Apex skill. The other one being that it increases your Apex skills alone and not your normal skills. So some classes rely heavily on Apex while some don't. The option is there. An odd choice really to give between 2 circlets. I don't know why they didn't just do 1 circlet with just both. You can have base and Apex, but that's just me criticizing, I guess. But I guess that's neither here nor there, I suppose. So one question I'm sure to get is, how is the lag? Honestly, I wish I could tell you that the lag and the frame drops have gotten better, but in fact it's quite the opposite. The server lag hits especially during peak hours, and though there are hundreds among hundreds of players now playing, thanks to Awakening coming out, this comes at a cost. For example, imagine doing Anthony's Abyss. You go in, and in the last boss, right as he does backslam, you get 900 MS of ping and freeze. This could essentially cost your entire party the run going into a wipe. Don't believe me? Check this out.
In there.
No, it scares me.
What are we doing, Sarah?
Whoa!
Oh
Whoa.
no! Wow! Is this disconnect or just like we got fucked?
He did a
We're
backslam so
getting
strong it kicked us out of the server.
Exactly. This does happen often and during peak hours, so in the nighttime and late afternoon. And for some weird reason, This specific dungeon requires you to have a LAN cable. I don't know why, at least for me. For some reason I can't play Wi-Fi for this dungeon, for the rest I can. Now frame rate. It seems with Apex that this actually got relatively worse at times. An example is me doing a dungeon with a party, for example. I don't know why I just said example twice. Anyways, going into Edict of Judgment, which is one of the priest's new skills, which is a major buff for your party that they need. If I use that along with Zenobia's Vortex, or let's say I use Divine Charge and then Edict, which is usually what I do anyways, during Enrage, and I use Zenobia's Vortex, while other classes are going into their Apex skills, like for example the Berserker going into Unleash mode, your screen freezes for about 2 to 3 seconds. This is especially important while doing burn stages such as Enrage or you're about to kill the boss. So those 2 to 3 seconds while you freeze are pretty big on DPS loss and shouldn't be happening. But let me explain why it happens. So a little insight provided by the dev team in relation to optimization. Though the update isn't exactly what they wanted it to be, mostly due to optimization and bugs, some new information has come to light as to why TERA sometimes plays pretty shitty, sometimes on the PlayStation 4. Hell, even on the Xbox sometimes. So for the PlayStation 4, the operating system, or the OS for it, requires half of the PS4's RAM. Basically, it's the memory that lets the actual system go. You need memory in order to actually play. So think of it as power that lets you consume some of it in order to actually play and go faster or slower. It's hard to explain, look it up. RAM. The PS4 as well as the Xbox actually both have 8 GB of RAM. 3.5 GB of that, up to 4, is used for the operating system, allowing for half of that to be used for a game. Though to be real, it really only allows you to use 2 to 3 GB of RAM usage for any game. So TERA actually requires 4 GB to run smoothly and actually play like a decent game. The PS4, however, limits it to be 2 GB of RAM. This is usually done through development and a lot of contracts and stuff, so there you go. You can only use 2 GB for TERA out of the 4 GB that are kind of disposable. Of course, if you use the 4 GB, everything will just go crazy and shut down. So essentially what we're experiencing now is the limit of the PlayStation 4, and according to the team, the game runs like butter and absolutely amazing on the PlayStation 5 due to the fact that it has 16 GB of RAM available, allowing us for an even smoother experience. So think of it as a PC. You can go play TERA on a crappy PC and get a bad experience, but once you upgrade that PC, you'll get a better experience overall. Same game, different experiences. So that's something that I thought was interesting, though for my people here that follow me here on Discord and have had already these conversations in the past like 6 months or so, and it's actually just been repeated recently, you know that this information is actually nothing new. But at least it's new to YouTube, I guess, because I haven't actually shared this before, so there you go. Overall, I think the good out DPSs the bad. The game seems more fun and I feel like I'm enjoying myself again. The update we got is vastly different from PC version, and players have come together to figure out what's the best way to work with their class. Hell, even I've come up with my own little meta for priest for now. Of course, this is just like a normal priest, not a DPS priest, which I have a completely different build for, but this is just like healing DPS. Maybe I'll release the Priest Awakening guide next week. To this day, I still get Twitter DMs and YouTube messages asking me for Awakening guides. So maybe, perhaps. Yeah, let's do it, why not? It's been encouraging to see the community bond together and figure stuff out, where they can no longer just rely on PC information. We already have console exclusive gear, cosmetics, mounts, and coming soon, dungeons and classes. So take that as a hint, I guess. I love the direction that console is going because if I'm going to be honest, PC is a complete shit show. And though console isn't as big as PC, and it'll never be because let's be honest, it's on consoles, it's still eons better than what PC could offer. A great example is that it's not pay to win. We don't have a companion system, we don't have adventure coins, because it's all completely pay to win, no matter what way you see it. Now, other than the fact that we have pretty bad optimization, which should be fixed with the next generation consoles, I don't know. Take that as you wish. I still think it's better than most MMOs on consoles right now, but that's me being biased. It's mostly to the fact that I love when things are different. I like uniqueness. I like when a game is ported over to PS4 or started on the PS4 and it never was on the PC and has a completely different experience that players have to figure out. They can't just go through information on YouTube from years ago. That's just me though. Anyways, what do you guys think about the Awakening update? Let me know in the comments below, and your comment could be featured in the next TERA video next week with my responses to it on the video. So comment away and thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and click that adorable f***ing bell to know when I upload a brand new video. Want to support me even further? Join my Patreon at patreon.com/Sarumonin. And don't forget to come join my Discord if you want to chat and hang out. Much love and as always, till next time, friends.